Let me ask you something. How many times have you looked at someone playing poker for a living and thought, damn, that must be the life? I mean, sitting around in hoodies, playing cards, and raking in piles of cash while everyone else is out there stuck in a 9-to-5 job. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the thing nobody tells you. Professional poker isn't some glamorous shortcut to riches. We're about to take a deep dive into the real world of professional poker, how much money pros actually make, the insane pressure, the respect they don't get, and the reality of going broke even when you're playing the best poker of your life. There's a quote that floats around in the poker world, and it perfectly sums up what it's like. It's a hard way to make an easy living. And once you start peeling back the layers of the poker grind, that line hits harder and harder. The question most aspiring pros ask is, how much do professional players actually make? Like, is it even possible to live off a poker salary? And the answer, like everything else in poker, is it depends. The truth is, about 1% of those that become professional poker players actually become successful. Even then, some still go through the period where they are broke or living on meager means. One thing you should understand is that making a living by playing poker means accepting that this type of activity is a job at which you have to perform exceptionally well to earn your wage. Therefore, if you are thinking about playing poker as just a cool hobby or a way to make some extra money, you are already off track. You're not gonna make it. To actually make a living playing poker, you need to treat poker like a job. A high-pressure, ultra-competitive, full-time job where you are the product. It requires your full attention, your time, your energy, and yes, your money. Only then are you even on the path to becoming a real professional. Another issue that pro players have to deal with is the fact that they generally don't get much respect for the profession from the general public. Most parents are horrified when their child tells them they're quitting their job to become a professional poker player. The truth, however, is that whatever you might think about the morality of taking money from weaker players at the poker table, no one can question the amount of hard work and intelligence it takes to become an elite poker player. To win at high stakes, you need to master math, psychology, game theory, and yourself. That's not luck, that's skill. Back in the early days, a fortune could be made with very little poker experience and knowledge. Today, it takes a ridiculous amount of natural ability, study, and constant improvement just to stay afloat. For those who do have what it takes, the reward is a job with practically unlimited freedom. Top professional poker players can easily make millions per year playing poker. Only a handful of players are capable of pulling off results like these though. The players at this level, they are monsters. They know the math better than anyone. They can read a situation like they have got psychic powers. They are feared, respected, and ruthless. But even those guys, even them, go through massive swings. Variance does not care who you are. And the money, well, it's a bit tricky to calculate. You have got buy-ins, stakes, swaps with other players, side bets, private deals. Bryn Kenny famously became the highest earning poker player in history after having a phenomenal 2019. He scored multiple 7-figure wins and won a whopping $30 million in a single year. He now tops the chart with $75 million plus won in live tournaments. But for every Bryn Kenny, there are thousands who never make it, because this path is brutal. In poker, you only make money when your opponents make mistakes. But with all the coaching, solvers, and study tools out there now, fewer players are making big mistakes. Games are tighter, sharper, and tougher. If you want to get to the top today, you'll have to work twice as hard. Another rarely discussed yet very serious downside to becoming a professional poker player is that it causes you to greatly devalue money. If you compare a lawyer and a poker player who make $500 an hour, the poker player will never have anywhere near as much value of the money as the lawyer does. The reason is simple. The lawyer makes $500 for every hour he or she works. So when the lawyer sees something that costs $1,000, he knows that he has to do 2 hours of work to earn enough to pay for it. For a professional poker player to average $500 per hour, he has to be playing fairly high stakes games in which you are winning and losing sums between $10,000 and $100,000 on an hourly basis. When money comes and goes with your hands that quickly for longer periods of time, it basically becomes impossible to be frugal with your money. Eventually, most players get smarter with their money, but the habit of devaluing it never fully goes away. If you are going to play poker for a living, you need to be constantly evaluating what types of games will provide highest hourly win rate for your unique set of abilities and experience. One serious mistake that many professional players make is that they find a game they can win at and then only play that type of game month after month, year after year. The poker landscape changes constantly, and games that used to be easy money are practically unbeatable for significant amounts of money these days. Every person who plays poker has a limit, the level at which no matter how much work they put in, it will be the highest level of stakes they are capable of beating. Most players never reach their limit because few players work as hard as they can to improve for longer periods of time. Every couple of years, there is a massive turnover in the regulars playing at a particular level of stakes. Most of the regulars in the 5-10 games running 2 years ago are now playing 2-4 or lower, or have completely left the game. There are some, though, who have the ability and work ethic to continue winning at the same stakes they have been beating as the games got tougher. And let's not forget the classic mistake: moving up stakes too soon. You run good for a few sessions, win a few binds, and suddenly think you are ready for nosebleeds. Spoiler alert, you're not. Most players end up torched, playing in games they are nowhere near ready for and losing a ton of money. And that is just the strategic part. Let's talk about the real danger: getting cheated. If you play long enough, it's going to happen. Someone will collude against you, scam you, or straight up rob you. It happens less than it used to, especially online, but it still exists. It's a reality that you have to come in terms with. The most common of these occurrences is collusion, and it's usually very hard to detect. Fortunately, it's also the least detrimental and isn't something that most players need to spend much time worrying about. There are many other ways that a player can be cheated. However, in the vast majority of games these days, there is no cheating. So, why do people still go pro? Why go through all of this? Because when you love the game, when you have the skill and the heart for it, none of the downsides matter. You accept the variance, you handle the swings, you embrace the grind. Because deep down, there's still that freedom, that rush, that dream. But just remember, if you choose this path, it's a hard way to make an easy living.